Hi there! It's another Tuesday, which means it's another in real life video. This time, it is kind of a hybrid topic. This is a topic that folks have written to me and written in about. General viewers have messaged me either on YouTube or on Twitter or other social media, stuff like that, emails even, about this in some fashion or another. And it is something that I've wanted to tackle and talk about, and we will talk about it even more than in this video for those seeking advice within this realm, within this purview. Anyway, the topic is a question. Should you make videos? Should you make YouTube videos? And the answer is yes. If you want to, yes, absolutely. Why not? It is a fairly straightforward one. I think that you should definitely do it if you want to. But you need to approach it in the correct way. It is something that a lot of folks will say is something that they want to do professionally, but it is not something that you should first get into with the intent of doing it explicitly professionally, right? Which is to say, if you want to do it, whether or not it's in video games or some other aspect, you should begin it. And a lot of folks will say this, right? If you've done any modicum of research within this sort of realm, a lot of folks will say, start it first as a hobby. Never approach it or get into it thinking, I'm going to do this to make money, right? That is a very difficult and dangerous way to get into it because it very frequently does not work out. It is incredibly rare and difficult, and despite what some folks may say that they have figured out some sort of secret formula, don't believe them. It does 100% require some measure of luck. There is absolutely, I believe, a luck factor involved. And of course, some people will say luck is just a measure of opportunity over time, right? Your ability to execute on opportunities over a period of time. So the more time, the more opportunities, the higher chance of you being able to be considered lucky, which, true enough, right? You get more rolls of the dice, but you still are rolling dice at the end of the day. So, of course, the best way to approach it is as a hobby, right? Which is something that a ton of folks will do, and a ton of folks have successfully done. For the time being, we will focus this purely on videos, but I think a lot of this information can sort of apply elsewhere. But think of it as a hobby, in that you start out, you're not going to be great at it, right? You start any other kind of hobby. You start out doing painting, you start out doing like woodworking, gardening, any sort of more traditional hobbies. You're not going to be great at it, right? You're going to start out, you're going to be kind of rough. You're not going to have the appropriate tools. You're not going to have the experience to even work with less tools, right? Because of course, as you get more experience, you're going to be able to do more stuff with fewer resources at hand. Sometimes you just put money into it, and you don't necessarily see that money come out, but just like any hobby, you have satisfaction come out, whether that be joy or just a feeling of achievement, as it were, as you look back at what you have done and created and all of that, and how far you have come, how you have grown over that period of time. Similar to a whole bunch, like almost every other hobby, you will start out not being great. You will naturally get better at it over time. And just like any skill, some folks, they do begin a little bit better. They're naturally talented or inclined towards something. Some folks, they're fast learners. They get better at it a lot quicker, right? But I think almost everyone, maybe everyone, can learn a skill, right? It, like I said, it just takes time and practice, and different people develop it at certain different rates, and different people start it at a different starting point. But just make sure you go into it with the understanding that you aren't there to make money. You are there to have fun, right? You are there to begin it as an experience, right? Because you enjoy the process, right? Because there is a very high likelihood that that will be all that you ever get from it, right? Like I said, it is incredibly difficult to do and get into. Go in just for the pure joy of doing it. Make the videos, make streams and stuff for yourself or for a small circle of folks as you enjoy it. In the same way that, you know, someone who does sketches, right? Someone who works on drawing a whole lot. It doesn't matter if they see any sort of financial success, because it is a way of sort of relaxing, right? It is a way of sort of creating something and seeing that you have made it and it is there for you to appreciate and think, oh, I've gone through this. I've gotten some experience in that. I've seen this part. I've seen through this window of the world, as it were, right? And there is some joy and satisfaction in that. Now, how you spin that out, if you so desire, is also, I think the hobby sort of allegory works very well. And I do genuinely believe that it is, you know, like a hobby. Similar to other hobbies, you can turn those into work, right? You can make that your own personal work. If you do woodworking, you could then make that and sell it. You could sell plans, right? There are folks who do like cosplay, craft work. They do stuff with like foam, making little weapons or armor pieces and costumes from games, right? It begins as a hobby, and then as they get better at it and all of that, they begin to maybe even become renowned for it in some circles. You can then consider spinning it off into and considering the ball is rolling. Do I want to try and push the ball faster, or am I okay here just enjoying this in my spare time? Definitely ensure that it is something that you enjoy, because the most important return when you're starting out is the return to yourself, that you are enjoying it, that you are enjoying the process. You find some degree of satisfaction. You find some fun from it. It makes you happy at the end of the day to look back and sort of see how far you have come, you've grown in your experience, right? I mean, just for instance, look at some of the very first Morrowind Mondays videos from my channel very early on. Times were very different, using a much different microphone on a much different computer, and with very clearly much different level of experience from myself speaking into a microphone and even playing the game, right? Sort of playing it for an audience rather than just for myself. And like I said, to reiterate, it's a skill. You can develop it over time. People develop it at different rates. If it is a skill that you are interested in, 100%, I can't say it enough. I absolutely think that folks should get into it and try it for fun if they do want to. Just remember, don't get into it exclusively because you're looking for money, right? It is exceptionally difficult and rare to do that and maintain that for a measure of time. Do not ever trust anyone who says that they have 100% figured it out and have like a guaranteed formula for whatever. Whenever I hear that, I immediately am incredibly suspicious. It's like a massive red flag to me to think that someone would know exactly what to do. There are, of course, good practices, right? There are good practices just as there are with hobbies, right? Well, more normal hobbies, I should say, just as there is with like painting, with learning guitar, stuff like that. There are great practices, great methods that you can utilize yourself and sort of think about like, oh, this is a good way to go about learning and teaching myself this. These are great resources here online or whatever for free. There's a little community here I can get involved with and stuff and support each other and learn about it. And definitely make use of all of that. But do be wary of anyone who seems to, be selling snake oil, as it were. The ultimate solution to solve all your problems and instantly just start bringing in big bucks, you know? Be very suspicious of folks like that, I think. I don't think I think it's very rare for them. They're either operating not in good faith or they're just dumb. They're one of the two, I think. They're either lying to you or maybe they're just a little naive in that sense. For more folks who are looking into stuff like this, I'll sort of put my thoughts out on more of it, right? We'll do more videos similar to this, just as we do videos taking topics from general viewers like you, which, of course, if you have a potential topic for a future video, I have quite the list going as it is, and I'm always apt to add more to that list as time goes on. Anyway, that ought to do it for this one. Make a video if you want. Start streaming if you want. Make sure, at the end of the day, though, that you're enjoying it, right? Make sure you're having... Gosh, make sure that you're enjoying it first, or you're an asshole. But yeah, for real. Make sure you have fun with it. Make sure at the end of the day you can look at it. Either you find it puts a smile on your face, you find some satisfaction in the development. You know, it's just a personal skill. It's fun to do. Goodness, I'm waffling on along about this quite a bit. Like I said, we will do more videos with more specifics, more methods. I'll try and give and offer up some of my own best practices on how I do stuff for folks who are interested, because not only would it help out folks who are interested in that kind of thing if they ever decide to look it up, but I think it gives some fun insight for even folks who aren't into it. I don't know. It's just enjoyable. It's just a sort of an enjoyable experience, right? Hopefully you find some joy in it yourself. Anyway, until next time, please take care of each other.